if you want to support the show, any of the shows, either this or whichever show, I'm not on right now because this is just a blanket ad for all of them, and the website, you can go to bewareofspoilers.com. In the description for any of the episodes of Beware of Spoilers, there is the option to donate. If you don't want to donate that way, you can donate directly through the website. We do have that, mwpnews.com. And if you don't want to support that way, then going to mwpnews.com will help out because we have ads there. We don't want to keep it, where there's a lot of ads. There's a few ads. But the point is we want to make it so that way, we can sustain this for the long term. If people donate, we're never going to paywall anything, I don't think, as of right now. But if people start donating, we'll start doing cooler and cooler stuff. Like donations are how we get to cover stuff like Tribeca and other, film festivals. And, we may be able to bring on more people to help out. So if you want to help out the show and you want more content from us, by all means, even just going and giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify helps out a lot. But that's it. That's the only ad we'll have on the podcast ever. But here's whatever podcast you're going to be listening to. Hey, so you're probably looking at this episode and thinking like, this movie is not recent. And on Beware of Spoilers, usually we get new release movies. And you're right, this is not a recent release. This is a movie that came out, I would say, based on the episodes that I've been going through, between 2018 and maybe even 2016 and 2020. We had a technical glitch back in when we had Spreaker as our thing. I don't know if it's technical glitch or a billing error or whatever, but point is, we lost a good amount of the episodes. As Spreaker, you had to pay to host, and if you didn't pay to host, you had to, you only had like 100 hours, something like that, of content of space available, maybe even less than that. Maybe even 10, but either way, you only had a certain amount of time available on your cloud. And when that happened, we lost a ton of data. So what we had, fortunately, a lot, if not all, I wouldn't say all because there were a lot that weren't, but a lot were backed up on the on YouTube. So, all of this is to say that this is an episode that previously aired, but is not currently on the podcast feed. So, in an effort to kind of flesh out some of our older reviews and get, kind of a historical record of what we thought of these movies when it happened, we're going to be putting up the episodes. Anyway, it's just the episodes with this, every Tuesday we're going to have this, and it's going to have this notation before it. I think as of right now, as of recording this, we have enough to go through January of 2025. There are quite a few episodes that we haven't put up yet. We did put up a bunch a few years ago, in July of, I think, 2022, or 2023. But this is trying to get more of them up. It's still not all, because I know I did Fast Color because I went into Manhattan to see Fast Color in a theater at the AMC in I forgot what word I'm looking for here. At the AMC in AMC Empire. I went into Manhattan to see that, and I don't have the episode for it, which is kind of weird. But regardless, the point I'm trying to make is this is a previously recorded episode that reflects my reviews usually immediately after seeing a movie. Sometimes it'll be mine and Josie or mine and Peter, because there are a few episodes they were on for. I'm fairly certain that Peter was on for like the John Wick Chapter 2 one, or John Wick Chapter 3. I'm fairly certain Josie was on for X-Men Apocalypse. So some of these will have that. Again, there should be a shortened version of this in the description, so it will be apparent. And if you want the exact date these were uploaded initially, if you go to the YouTube channel and just look for the video that corresponds to this episode, there will be the original upload date. So, I mean, and look, a lot of it is going to be, it was reasonably close to whatever day whatever day the movie came out. Usually like that. Like, if the movie came out on Friday, like, sometimes the Thursday before. But what really instigated this was on our website, mwpnews.com, we now have a section, which is an index of all of our reviewed content, and I wanted to flesh that out a little bit better. And rather than directing it sometimes within the website, sometimes to YouTube, sometimes to Spotify, it's just easier to say demarcation line if it is pre-Spotify. If it's after the date we updated it, then it's gonna stay on the website. If it's before the date we updated, it's gonna redirect within the website, and YouTube will be there if you want to watch on YouTube. But more or less, this is probably the best way to do it. But after a little 5-minute intro, enjoy this episode from 5 years ago. Welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. So. This week, bit of a lull. Last week I saw Shazam. I'm gonna do another Shazam episode next week, but that's gonna be based on, that could be a spoilered review. The one that I did last week does not have any spoilers. So if you're holding off on listening to that, then you can go ahead and listen to that. I might put spoiler free in the title just because, people aren't listening to it, and I don't know why. So, aside from that, we have a movie this week to talk about, The Hummingbird Project, which refers to the project in the movie that's never referred to by the title, The Hummingbird Project. So, I had the option this week to go see Dumbo. That was one of the things that was on my possible docket for this week, and then I decided against it because it's Dumbo. It's like, I've seen the movie once before. It's just going to cut out the racism, and it's like, Dumbo is ultimately a largely forgettable Disney movie, so I have a feeling that the live-action adaptation would be a largely forgettable Disney movie. So I decided not to see that, and then I was looking at the other movies that were out this week, and there was Hotel Mumbai, which didn't have a showtime that was conducive to my day. There were a few others, but this is the one that I ended up settling on because, seemed interesting from the title. So the plot of the movie is Jesse Eisenberg and his cousin are trying to build a fiber optic wire from some conduit in Kansas to the stock exchange, so that way they can do stocks infinitely by like a millisecond faster than everyone else. That way they can make a lot of money. That's the plot of the movie. The B plot of the movie, there is no B plot of the movie. And everything stems out of this, where it's like, the key conflict you have is him facing off with his former boss, who's not happy with the fact that he left to go and do his own thing, which is, I guess, standard in that case. So she's out to undermine them at every step, and really the things that prevent him from creating the wire are not things that are, ever really referenced again. And at one point they even say, like, he goes to get more money because one of the drill bits breaks, trying to get through a vein, and he goes, the guy says, "You've been hitting issue after issue," and then Jesse Eisenberg says back, "Well, no, it's been like one issue," and like, yeah, it's been like one issue. And my other problem with this movie is there's not a single character in this movie who gets substantial screen time who you can relate to and feel good rooting for. Because, like, I don't feel good rooting for these two guys, because it's not like they're doing something good. They're not building a fiber optic cable to bring high-speed internet to low-income areas. They're not building it for, anything else. They're building it for personal financial gain. And it's like, yeah, they're doing that, but, like, why are they bothering if they didn't have... This isn't some altruistic thing where it's like they're Like, they're fucking people to make money themselves, and they're just jackasses through the entire movie. Like, one of the key scenes is that he wants to build the wire. They have to go through the farm of some Amish guy, and it's like they go buy land, and then they go against his wishes and build it under him anyway by exploiting some dumb law that really shouldn't have applied in that way. And am I supposed to feel bad for him that he's dying of stomach cancer? Am I supposed to feel bad for him that he took advantage of his autistic cousin to, I have no sympathy for any of the characters in this movie. Like, they all knew what they were doing was wrong. They all knew they were doing it just for personal gain. And now it's like at the end of the movie, you're trying to get a sympathetic ending out of it. And really, they were douches the entire way through to literally everyone. They misled everyone involved, lied to everyone. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, these characters are reprehensible. It's not even reprehensible in a way where it's like if I'm watching a movie about Nazis. Like, I understand that they're Nazis. These are characters who you're supposed to root for, I assume, because it's not you're supposed to root for Salma Hayek, who plays the other person who's trying to get high-speed transmissions, and she's doing it with 10 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds she gets it in under, and it's like she's a douche too. It's like the guy's autistic, and you're putting him in jail for everyone in this movie can go fuck themselves. Like, there's not a single person in this movie who acts for a reason beyond their own self-interest. And, even the kid she hires to help with her microwave stupidity, Salma Hayek's character, he's acting in his best interest too. He's not doing it for some greater good. He's developing a way to send high-speed internet all over the place, and he's like, yeah, let me use it for this one lady, so that way she can get higher speed internet, so that way she can make trades in the stock market faster. There's not a single character in this movie who has any redeeming quality at all, except for maybe the FBI agents, because we don't have enough time with them to see if they're corrupt or not. Fundamentally, that's my problem with the movie, is that I have no one in the movie that I can root for. It's not like Operation Finale, where, yes, there's Nazis in the movie, and you're not supposed to root for the Nazis. You have someone to root for. You root for the Israeli Special Forces guys who are going and taking the Nazi out. Even when you watch a movie like Suicide Squad, as bad as it was still pretty clear that while these may be bad guys, you are still rooting for the bad guys. And there is a mission that they're trying to do that is for the betterment of everyone. It's bad when you're making a movie, and other than that, the movie is pretty well shot. I mean, it's well shot. The pacing is okay. It's not too screwy in that regard. The dialogue sounds like it's just a sequel to The Social Network, but with a slightly douchier Mark Zuckerberg. And I don't even know where else to go with this. It's this isn't a movie that I would say go see in theaters. There's nothing about this movie that warrants seeing it in theaters right now, and that's probably why it's rated. It's not charting anywhere on the top 10. I hadn't heard about this movie. If I hadn't opened my app this morning to see what movies were playing, I wouldn't have heard of the movie. It's an independent movie, and I guess that at its core, this movie could have benefited from some extra runtime to kind of pad out who the people were, why we should root for them. Give me a reason why Jesse Eisenberg's character, who I walked out of the movie theater literally 5 minutes ago, can't remember his name. I know his brother is Anton, or his cousin is Anton. I can't remember Jesse Eisenberg's name because he doesn't do enough to separate himself from the role. Where it's Salma Hayek's character, same thing. She's still Salma Hayek in a business suit running a hedge fund. Jesse Eisenberg is just playing Mark Zuckerberg again. He's playing Lex Luthor again. It's the same variation of the same character. He's not doing enough to separate him from the role. So really, this is a movie that I would recommend you see on demand or something when it comes out. Wait for it to come out. It'll go on HBO probably, where it's it's an entertaining enough movie. It's not a movie where it's I sat there, I'm all right, can we wrap this up? It's it's just, there's no real, there's no one to form an emotional connection to as an audience to a character. Ultimately, that's my point I'm trying to make, is that when you're making a movie, you kind of want someone, the character that the audience can see themselves in and be like, okay, I understand why they're doing that. That makes sense to me. And I don't think any character in this movie really does that for me. What was there was one other thing I wanted to address with this. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm just completely at a loss for words for this movie, because it's like a 53 on Rotten Tomatoes was not enough for me to prepare what I was going into. Because even the summary, the aggregated summary is like, well, it's a pretty solid entry. I wouldn't even say it's solid. I mean, the movie itself revolving around the characters is good. I mean, but none of the plot points really carry on. I will give this movie that it gave me the cringiest moment that I've had in any movie in recent history, probably since The Revenant, when Tom Hardy gets stabbed in the back of the knee. When Mark Zuckerberg has stomach cancer in the movie, and for a good amount of the movie, I sit there and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to say, because it's like he gets stomach cancer, and then they never address it again for a good, like, hour of the movie. And I was like, people get the, what's it called? Give shit to, The Room for not, addressing the shit cancer more than once, yet this movie's doing it right here. I think my ultimate problem with what this is then it comes back to him having stomach cancer, and they show him, you see a shot from behind his legs, he's peeing in an outhouse, or in a porta potty, and all of a sudden it just turns red with blood, and I had to look away. I couldn't look at that. That was, it physically made me cringe when that happened. So yeah, I mean, if you can get it at like a $5.99 matinee, I know AMC does $5.99 matinees, maybe that'd be worth it if there's nothing else playing, really. But honestly, if you're looking for another drama, there are so many other there's so many other better movies that are playing right now you can see in the middle of the day. Hell, I think Dumbo would be a better option. Captain Marvel's still playing. That'd be a better use of your time. Even if you don't like superhero movies, Captain Marvel would be a better use of your time, because at least you can get behind the characters and the movie is somewhat coherent. This movie kind of jumps around a lot, in the same way as Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot last year. So we'll wrap up there for today. We'll be back. I'll do another review of Shazam probably on Thursday with the spoilers, because I've wanted to talk about this movie for a long time, and it's been a good 2 weeks now. And that movie was so good, and I will be doing a spoiler review later this week. I will also be doing, I think I'm going to do The Public, Emilio Estevez's new movie. But I don't know if that's going to be playing on Friday. And I should be getting my tickets for Endgame tonight. They go live at midnight. The 2nd, I think they go live at midnight. If not, I'll buy them tomorrow morning. But Endgame tickets will be going on sale, so I'll be able to say what day my viewing of Endgame is going to be based on that. So yeah, we will be back with Shazam later this week. Have a great rest of your week.